We know that on average, every single star, on average, has a planet going around it, and about 1/5 or so of them have Earth sized planets going around them. So just do the math. We're talking about out of 100 billion stars in the Milky Way galaxy, we're talking about billions of potential Earth sized planets. And to believe that we're the only one is, I think, rather ridiculous given the odds. And how many galaxies are there? Within sight of the Hubble Space Telescope, there are about 100 billion galaxies. So do the math. How many stars are there in the visible universe? 100 billion galaxies times 100 billion stars per galaxy. We're talking about a number beyond human imagination. And to believe that we're the only ones, I think, is rather ridiculous.
So this is a show I saw. It's talking about are we alone in the universe? And there's been many movies, portraying aliens as these um, things that look like human but with bigger eyes. And some of them are here to kill us, to take our resources. Um, but mainly, all these movies portray a lot of them are biological, aliens. Now, what if the alien are actually conscious machines? Sort of what we're getting into, what we're trying, with a Neuralink. Neuralink is a company represented by many people, but Elon Musk is one of them. And they're trying to connect the brain through electrical wires into the internet. Right now, they're using for, let's say you have some neural injury that you're paralyzed, or they could bridge that by sending signals to bridge the severed or injured nerve and people can move their limb. I think you remember even, 10, 20 years back. I mean, you see uh, monkeys implanted with certain electrodes and they could move a mouse or play simple bit of video game with their thoughts. So, and if you look at all the history of basic human desire, we want to live forever, right? And before it was the cloning, like just clone yourself and somehow transfer the memory over. But again, those are all biological. But you see now, it's what they're actually working on, and ultimately right now is bridging the neural disconnect. There's other computer brain interface companies that are trying to solve the same problem. And eventually, you can maybe download, and then you can know how to drive or know how to do things, right? But the ultimate ending, I think, is that they want to upload your memory. Um, and so living forever, conscious machines is kind of what we're already getting to. And so now let's go back and talk about the timeline of the universe, right? And we know that universe has been around for 13.8, 14, 15, whatever the number is, billions of years. Okay, Earth has been around for 4.5 billion years. First life has been here for 3.5, 4 billion years. Dinosaur appeared about 230 million years ago. Extinction was 66 million years ago. So the dinosaurs were around for over 150 million years. That's a long time, 150 million, okay? How long have the human been around? 300,000 years. Uh, Now, think about that. Dinosaur, massive creatures, was around for over 150 million years, I believe. And humans only been around for less than a million years, 300,000 years. Okay, agriculture, 12,000 years. Industrial revolution, 250 years. Airplanes, 120 years. Internet, maybe 40 years. And reusable rocket, SpaceX, and there's Chinese one as well, where you could reuse the rocket you sent to outer space. It's only been in the last decade or even the last few years, right? And Elon Musk set a goal of going to Mars, starting to go to Mars at 2030, which is very close, right? Human been around for 300,000 years, and yet all these crazy technology has really been in the last 20, 30, 40 years. and it's progressing at an exponential speed. They talk about Raymond Kurzweil as technologist. He talk about technology, information technology, exponential. In that, at a certain cost, the technology is exponential, right? It's not just linear, not 1, 2, 3, 4. It's more like 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, and so it's progressing a lot quicker than we human typically see because we see linear. That's kind of how most of our lives have been. Um, Now, how big is galaxy? Like this video just said, it's massive. Okay, 93 billion light years across, um, billions of stars, planets just within our galaxy, Milky Way, and there are billions of galaxies that we see. So, chances of intelligent life out there is probably common. Okay, now on Earth, there are life that live in very extreme environment, right? Very deep in the oceans, near volcanoes. But none of these life are intelligent in the human sense, right? They don't create spaceship. They don't create airplanes. They don't create robots. So I guess, and these environments are extreme, but compared to what the environment in outer space is nothing, right? The environment in outer space is far worse, especially if you're close to a star, burning sun, or you're very far from it, or you're in a massive planet with massive amount of gravities where your skeleton you can't even function properly. So in those environments, yes, intelligent life like us may be kind of more rare, right? But there are livable zone with around each star, and so still there are billions and billions and billions of possibility planet with life, intelligent life. Um, so I don't think we're alone. But let's go to the same train of thought that it's only been $300,000, 300,000 years since we've been here. The universe has been around for 13, 14 billion years. So imagine there are probably intelligent life out there. Again, it's rare, but again, think about all the possible planet out there. And so these intelligent life could be, 300 years behind us, okay? Because we've been around for 300 years, 300,000 years. But they could also be thousands to millions of years ahead of us. And we see the technology advance that has happened just in the last 100 years, 30, 40, 50 years. So I don't think we can even imagine how advanced another form of intelligent conscious machine is out there. And I think there was a scientist or technologist in the past that says a sufficient advanced technology will seem like magic to you. For example, if you go back 10,000 years in your car, in your iPhone, and talking to people thousands of miles away, those people would think you're magical or crazy or something very advanced. They can't even comprehend how you could possibly video call someone on the other side of the planet. And so we can't even imagine the advancement that is going to happen 1,000 years from now, let alone 100,000 years, 1,000,000 years ahead of us. Now, would some would a conscious machine civilization really care to travel hundreds of millions of years to come take our resource or to come kill us? I just don't think so because they're so advanced they could create everything from whatever they have. And they might even be eternal. They've been talking about these self-replicating machines. They go around. We're all stardust. We came from stars. Okay. Yes, on Earth there's a specific mixture that makes us possible, but the elements that make up everything we know, including us, came from the initial universe. It's everywhere. And so if you have enough technology, you could really create anything you want where you're at. So why would you go, millions, hundreds of millions of light years away just to destroy or another something else? And like, for example, I just think there's an analogy. Like if the ants bother us, yes, we step on it. They could step on us and not even feel bad about it, right? But we won't go millions of miles away just to kill ants, or millions of light years away just to kill a bunch of ants. And so I just think, they talk about the Fermi's paradox, where like if there's intelligent life everywhere, then why don't we see them? Well, they're not interested in seeing us, and they also probably can't we probably can't comprehend how they're communicating, and they may not even be interested in sending signals out there because we think about aliens from very human centric, like, right, we're human, so we think everything revolves around us. At some point in history we actually thought we were the center of our own solar system, and then later we realized, well, actually sun is the center of our solar system. So the advanced alien are so advanced that they don't even need to bother with us or send signals to try to reach us. I mean, it's so, and what are the signal they're sending? Can we comprehend what they are? Um, so anyway, I just thought this video is pretty interesting. It kind of make us understand how small we are, and I know most of us, we're just struggling, right? We're living, at least in the U.S., we're living paycheck to paycheck, and even if you have money, life is just things happen, right? It's always a challenge, always a struggle. And but then when you watch a video like that and you take a moment to kind of think about how tiny we are, and that, it's kind of hard to imagine why all the craziness, all the wars, all the theft, all the things that happen in a very capitalistic society, all the suffering, and yet we all came from stardust. And it's also very exciting to see that we're at the cusp of becoming AI robotic. I mean, some people say that dinosaur was just a transition. It gave rise to us, and they believe that we give rise to conscious machines, and we're just a transition. And it's sad to think that may be true. Um, but at the end of the day, our life is a blink of an eye. You know, let's say I live to 90 or 80 or 100 or even 200 years old. That's really a blink of an eye in the scheme of things. And, when we close our eyes and we wake up next day, when we close our eyes, we basically go to sleep. The only difference with death is you close your eyes and you don't wake up. And so it's really the fear of anticipating, knowing that your death is coming. Death itself is just kind of falling asleep, and you don't wake up. And so, it's anyway, I think I'm kind of ranting here. Um, but I love these, thinking about how small we are, because every day we think our life is the main thing and our struggle is unique. Um, but it's not. And also a video like this also just kind of confirms what I lately realized, that life is short, and you might as well try to do what you want to do, and that's again without hurting others, right? And that's why I'm creating this YouTube channel. I just find that if I eventually retire, I want to have something to do. And I think it's also a process. I don't know where this is gonna end up. I'm here right now. I might end up in a studio. I might end up just traveling, vlogging. And I might end up being able to live in another country and doing what I think, gifting people things. Or again, I don't know, right? Life is kind of a mystery. And you can only kind of live in the moment. And so I'm creating this video. And I'm very grateful. Okay, I'm really grateful that you're listening. I don't know why you're listening. But I also seen a lot of YouTubers kind of, they have a similar start. They just started the channel out of interest, and then just kind of let life and their YouTube channel evolve. Again, I'm very grateful. Thank you for listening. And comment below, what you think about aliens and kind of what this video make you feel. And I hope you're having a great day. Thank you.